Good morning. Our group is Innovative Corp, and welcome to our sprint review meeting for. And now I will pass to Brynard to present about his part.
Okay, this is for the sprint one. I do login interface and register interface in sprint one. Cheong next. Next. As for sprint two, I manage the facilities availability and time. Sprint three is admin edit booking, and lastly sprint four is the admin feedback list. So I will demonstrate it later. I think I will pass to the next person. I think.
Right, sorry. So back to me. What I did for the sprint one is to view the profile details for both the admin and the residents, and also to edit the profile of both of the account types, and also, of course, change the password. And all of this is in sprint two. I also did the forget password stuff, the functions behind the forget password, sending emails and reset the new password. For sprint 3, I did the function to reschedule bookings. And also, yeah, this is the interface, but later I will demonstrate everything. And for sprint 4, I did the function to delete feedbacks, as well as I fixed data validation forms, right? So these are the related database tables for all my sprints, and this is the backlog for sprint 4. And next I will pass to Brandon.
Okay, so my part regarding sprint one is for the resident dashboard. So it will display the details will be demoed later. So next. Okay, so in sprint two, I did the viewing for reservations for today, as well as the history of feedbacks. Next slide. Yeah, just next. This is the reservations history. Okay, next. All right, for sprint 3, it's the view reservations for admin dashboard, and this one has been changed. Yeah, so next. So for sprint 4, there's the resident view today's feedback. So it will be able to see the feedback next, and as well as the feedback history for my part. Yeah, that's all from me. All right, there's also the Git feedback. Yeah. So I'll pass it next to the next team member.
Alright, so basically for my sprint 1 and sprint 2 and sprint 3, I do a lot of focus on my part on the make reservation. So during the sprint 3 also, I also make for the cancel reservation part. And during my sprint 4, I also did the part for the update feedback. So the database rated is more on the reservation table and the feedback table as well. So that's all for my part. Thank you. So I will pass to Wen Jun to explain for his part.
Okay, for my part, the first sprints and third sprints, I mainly did the admin dashboards and going on next. And then the going on next. And then for the sprint 2, what I did is for the code availability, going on next. And then for the going on next. And then for the sprint 3, I did for the disapproved booking status, which is the function of the button, and then going on next. And going on next. And then for the last sprint, which is I mainly do is I increase the UI of the admin dashboard and slightly edit the function of the approve and disapprove button. Okay, so that's all for the sprint. Now I pass to CL to explain about the burndown chart.
So this is the burn down chart for sprint 4, and as you can see, we've completed all of the issue counts just slightly before the set date. So right, so without further ado, let's just go into the demo of our application so far, and I will let Brynard start off the presentation.
All right. So as I'm doing the login and register, I will demonstrate the register first. In order to register, you just create an account and fill in the form, all these forms. So for username, aside from password and aside from password, all of the form contains certain conditions like username cannot same with with other users, and name you cannot use like digits. Name, yeah, cannot use like digits, and all of it. Email must correct email. I think, yeah, not I think, it must be a correct email, and the phone number, yeah, ABC. Yeah, just randomly type a number. It suppose it will shows it will use the validation will be wrong and you cannot create the account. So now see how it just randomly create a number, I think. So when he password, yeah, password. Okay, so when he press create account, you need to redo all the things. Okay, create account. Yeah, this means that the register did not the register is failed because you did not meet the criteria. So I think let's go to the login part. So login like normal, username and the password. It takes some time to load. Yeah, that's all for my part.
Okay, so I'll be taking over. This is my part, the admin dashboard. So here you can make reservations by pressing book now. But before that, the time will be shown for those that are available. Like in Quad 2, you can see that the time shown is available. So if, for example, in Quad 1, it would be showing that there's no time because it is unavailable. So besides that, we have a basic introduction on how to make the booking to the right side of the dashboard on top at the top of the page. Yeah, so that's the basic one, and then next you can just click book now to make the reservation for those that have the available time.
Alright, so for the make restoration part, so actually there is no data validation is needed. So because most of the data is coming from the profile which is taken in database, so therefore the user unable to edit the data such as the username, the book ID, the code ID, customer phone number is already prepared. So therefore what can the user can do is just to select the start time. So the user able to just select the start time from the available list. So when you try to make the reservation, it must agree and accept the terms and condition. So if not take the agree and terms and condition, therefore it will not able to make the reservation. Yeah, so that's all for the part for the make reservation. Yeah.
Okay, so this is my part again. So I made the page for viewing the reservation for today. So in this part, you can see the details such as the date, the time, the status, and the booking ID. So as well as the code number. So next, I'll move on to the view reservation history, which will allow me to allow the user to see all the previous booking that he made. And then after that, you can go back to reservation history, and then I'll pass it to my team member.
Right, so this is my part to reschedule the reservation. So let's say if I want to reschedule the booking that I just made here from 10 o'clock. So if I just click the reschedule, so here it will show me all of the available times. So let's say if I want to reschedule to maybe um, clock 4, 11 o'clock. So I'll just reschedule here. And then as you can see here, all of this is not editable by the user. So all the user has to do is select the time. So let's say I want 11 o'clock for code 4. So I have to click agree and then I just reschedule. As you can see now, the code number has already been updated to code 4 and 11 o'clock. Okay.
Okay, so now I will continue with the cancel restoration. So now we try the first one, the code number 4, and reservation time is 11 a.m. So just cancel reservation. So when you see that the reservation is deleted, so therefore the user should not able to see the reservation that it made before, since it's cancelled already. So that's all for the cancel reservation.
Alright, next we'll go to the profile tab. So here we can see all of the profile details of the user, the email and all, and also we can go here to edit the profile. So here, this form we have data validation. If I cancel everything here, as you can see, it will give me an example. If I key in maybe 123, or the email if I don't follow, I just say add, and maybe phone number if I change it to ABC, or maybe I just add a dash. So if I delete everything here, it will show me the example format without dashes. So if I just add a dash in between here and this format as well, two capital letters only. If I put 123 and I don't follow it, this one will say 4 numbers only. So if I put ABC, so if I don't follow all of the restrictions and I click save changes, and of course it will check the email. So this one I have to put the valid email. If so, as you can see, it will not allow me to save because I did not follow the um, rules. But if I just change this to AG, then as you can see here, now it will allow me to change and everything has been updated. Right, so this is the data validation, and it's the same for change password as well. The current password has to be correct, and also the new and re-enter new password should be the same. So I will not show that. And next, let's just move to the feedbacks part.
Okay, so for the give feedback part, it's under me. So for this part, if the user does not enter anything in the feedback subject as well as the description, when the user press submit feedback, it will be unable to go through. So it will display please fill out this field. So now we just give a feedback of anything like slippery code maybe, like what is listed there. Okay. So we can just give the description that the code is wet, and then we just submit the feedback. And then for this part, it's also under me, so you can see the feedbacks for today, which is the slippery code. The code is wet, as well as the feedback that we made just now before the recording. So next is view feedback list. So in here you can see all the feedbacks including today. So as you can see, the 12th of January, as well as scrolling down, you will be able to see other dates. So that's it for my part.
Alright, so I'll continue with the update feedback. So let's click the button of the update feedback. So as you see the form, so actually the data relation is same with the give feedback. So we cannot make the feedback subject and the feedback declaration become null. So let's delete all the value inside the subject and the declaration, and try to submit the feedback. You found that he will ask for the user to fill in the field of the subject and the description. So when you submit the feedback, so the feedback is updated. So that's all for the update feedback.
Alright, next I will just demonstrate the delete feedback. So it's very simple, we just click the delete. So if I want to delete the feedback that I just made, I just click this and it's gone. Right, so that's basically everything for the resident side of the account. Now let's move to the admin side of the account, and I will pass to Wen Jun to talk about the admin.
I will start talking about the admin dashboard. So as you can see for the admin dashboard, the first thing you will be see is booking list and the feedback list. So the admin shall have the ability to disapprove or approve a booking. So for example, if you press disapprove now, the code 2 that booked by the user will be disapproved currently because for some reason maybe he don't want the user to come. So yes, so and then for the right side, the feedback is the feedback made just now about the floor is wet. So yeah, that's for the admin dashboards. And then I will pass to Brynard to show about the edit bookings.
All right. So after press the edit button, this form will show up. Now all of the data cannot be changed, and we can only change the new start time. This means that admin can change the time of the residents of their bookings time. So let's say that the initial time is 2 p.m. It's changed to maybe 17, I think. 16 also can. Just and submit it. Oh, and by the way, admin can only reschedule the residence time within the same code. So we cannot like code 2 go to code 3, go to code 4, and so on. So as you can see, the code 2, it become 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's all for the edit booking for admin. So
Alright, next, let me just talk briefly about this one. Basically, the admin's profile page is more or less the same with the resident side. All the data validation logic is the same, as well as the change password. So I won't be talking much into this. I will just go into the core availability tab.
Okay, so I will presenting about the code availability. So as you can see, the code will be shown is availability. For example, code 1 is closed because all of his time is not available for bookings, and code 3, code 2, code 3, and code 4 is open because one of his time is the lessons is one of his time is available for booking, so it will be show availability is opens, and then the admin can press the button on the right, which is the manage button, to manage the open time and the close time for the code and the availability for the code. So I will now pass to Bryan to showcase the manage buttons.
right. After pressing the manage button, these forms will come up for all code 1, scroll down, code 2, code 3, and code 4. So as you can see, can you go to code 1? The code 1 shows dash. It means that it is not available if it shows dash. And for the all code, scroll up. If it shows dash, it means that one of the code is not available. So let's change the all code opening time and closing time. Maybe from 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. to, let's say, in anything. All right, and you press update, so it will update all the code 1 to code 4's opening and closing time. Yeah, so if you can see, code 1 to code 4 all have the time from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's all for the code managing part. So lastly, my part is the feedback part. After pressing the feedback, all of the users feedback will show to the admin. Yeah, I think that's all. It will show all the feedback to the admin. That's all I think for the admin part.
Right. So lastly, let me just showcase something that I forgot just now, which is the forget password. And I want to showcase the set password here. So if I just enter my email and I click next, this email there is with data validation as well. So if I enter an invalid email, it will ask me to enter again. So now it says it has sent an OTP code to my email, and as you can see, here is the new email. And I just copy this code, put it in. Right, if it's correct, then it will let me pass. So here I can just reset my password. Right, so if we check the database now, my account's password is currently ABC. So if I want to change it to maybe 12345, 12345, and I click confirm. So if the passwords match, then it will allow me to pass through, and now I can log into my account using the new password. Right. Okay, so I think this sums up our sprint review meeting 4. This is what we have done so far for the for 4 of these sprints, and thank you very much.
Thank you.